Part 2. From cabin to mansion, the decision to move to Beverly Hills. The revelation of sudden and staggering wealth sends ripples through the Clampett household, transforming what began as an ordinary mountain morning into a profound crossroads of destiny. In this second movement of the pilot episode, the script masterfully shifts from the thrill of discovery to the emotional and philosophical weight of choice. The question is no longer whether the Clampetts are rich but what they will do with that riches. Will they remain rooted in the only life they have ever known, or will they venture into the unknown splendor of Beverly Hills, California? This extended sequence stands as one of the most charming and thematically rich sections of the entire episode, balancing gentle comedy with sincere reflections on home, family, progress, and identity. Cousin Pearl arrives like a whirlwind of ambition wrapped in hillbilly charm. Her excitement is palpable and infectious as she bombards Jed with questions about the oil deal. When she learns the potential fortune, her vision immediately expands far beyond the Tennessee hills. It is Pearl who first plants the seductive seed of Beverly Hills. She reminds Jed of the old movie they once saw, painting a vivid picture of a magical place where movie stars reside in grand homes. The mention of Tom Mix particularly delights Jed, revealing the innocent wonder that still lives within these mountain folk despite their rugged exterior. Pearl's persuasion is both practical and aspirational. She points out the hardships of their current life. 8 miles from the nearest neighbor, kerosene lamps for light, a wood stove used summer and winter, homemade moonshine lye soap, and an outhouse 50 feet from the house. Her arguments are difficult to refute on purely material grounds, yet they never feel cruel or dismissive of the Clampetts' beloved way of life. Jed Clampett, true to his character as the thoughtful patriarch, does not rush headlong into this monumental decision. He listens carefully, weighs the pros and cons, and seeks counsel. This measured approach is one of the most admirable qualities of the character and forms the moral backbone of the series. Even with $25 million promised, Jed remains grounded. He tells Pearl he will need to study on the matter and consult the oilman Mr. Brewster when he returns. This moment beautifully underscores a central theme of the show. True wealth is not merely financial but includes wisdom, responsibility, and consideration for one's family. The conversation deepens when Pearl enthusiastically describes California's wonders. She claims things grow twice as big out there, prompting delighted speculation about Jethro becoming an even larger whopper. Jethro himself offers to drive the family in his mother's truck, showcasing his eager, helpful nature despite his limited understanding. These light-hearted exchanges provide excellent comic relief while revealing the family's close-knit bonds. Even in the face of life-changing fortune, they think first of helping one another and staying together. Meanwhile, Granny's resistance becomes the emotional counterpoint to Pearl's enthusiasm. Seated firmly in her rocking chair on the back porch, she declares that this is as close to California as she intends to get. Her stubbornness is legendary and hilarious. When Jed tries to tempt her with tales of Beverly Hills, Granny remains unmoved. She argues that if the good Lord had wanted her in California, he would have placed her there from the beginning. She quotes scripture about the Lord moving in mysterious ways, but insists she will only go if divinely moved, not by Jed or Big Jethro. This rocking chair standoff is pure comedic brilliance. Granny represents the deep-rooted traditionalism and mountain pride that many viewers even today can relate to. Her refusal is not mere contrariness, it is a defense of a way of life she holds sacred. The script excels here in showing the internal family dynamics without ever descending into bitterness. Jed's patience with Granny is touching. He recognizes her deep attachment to the land and the memories it holds. At the same time, he gently begins preparing her for the possibility of change. The contrast between Pearl's forward-looking ambition and Granny's fierce attachment to the past creates a rich, dramatic tension that feels authentic rather than contrived. When Mr. Brewster finally returns, the conversation turns more concrete. Brewster confirms the enormous sum, $25 million, and reassures Jed that the money has been deposited safely in a Beverly Hills bank. He describes Beverly Hills as a choice residential area perfect for millionaires and movie stars alike. Jed, still humble, asks if folks like him would fit in. Brewster's enthusiastic affirmation, combined with the banker's offer to arrange a fine mansion with plenty of room for kinfolk, begins to tip the scales. The oilman's genuine respect for the Clampetts further reinforces Jed's trust. One of the most delightful sequences involves the family's misconceptions about their new home. They imagine Beverly Hills as actual hills comparable to their own mountains, with Jethro noting that moles back home push up higher ridges. These misunderstandings are handled with such warmth and affection that they never feel mocking. Instead, they highlight the innocence and charm of the Clampetts' worldview. When they arrive at the mansion later, the Hills will prove to be something entirely different, setting up future comedy while remaining true to their perspective. The decision-making process reveals Jed's character in its finest light. He is not blinded by money. He worries about leaving the only home his family has known. He considers Granny's feelings deeply. He thinks about what is best for Ellie Mae's future and Jethro's opportunities. This thoughtful leadership makes Jed one of the most likable protagonists in television history. He embodies the ideal that sudden wealth should not change one's fundamental values or love for family. As the family prepares for the journey, the script beautifully captures the mixture of excitement and melancholy that accompanies any major life transition. Packing their few belongings, including Granny's beloved wood stove, which she insists on bringing, symbolizes their determination to carry their identity with them. They may be moving to a mansion, but they refuse to abandon who they are. This theme of authenticity versus assimilation will run throughout the entire series and is established powerfully in these scenes. Jethro's enthusiasm provides constant comic energy. His literal interpretations and oversized helpfulness contrast wonderfully with Jed's calm wisdom. Ellie Mae's wild spirit continues to shine as she helps prepare for the trip while still wrestling with her emerging identity as a young woman. Granny's reluctant grumbling adds flavor to every conversation. Together, they form a family unit that feels genuinely lived in and lovable. The final agreement to move to Beverly Hills marks a pivotal turning point. Jed, after careful consideration, decides that the opportunity is too significant to ignore. The promise of a better life for the younger generation, combined with the practical hardships of mountain isolation, sways his decision. Yet even in acceptance, there is no arrogance or abandonment of roots. The Clampetts approach this new chapter with the same honesty and humility that defined their old life. This extended decision sequence is masterfully written. It takes the time to breathe, allowing viewers to become fully invested in the characters before the physical move occurs. By exploring the emotional stakes, the pull of home versus the call of opportunity, the episode elevates itself beyond simple slapstick into something more resonant. It speaks to the universal American experience of migration and reinvention while remaining deeply rooted in the specific cultural clash that makes the Beverly Hillbillies unique. By the end of this section, we understand not only why the Clampetts are moving but why their journey will be so endlessly entertaining. They carry with them their values, their humor, their loyalty, and their unpretentious outlook on life. These qualities will prove both their greatest strength and an endless source of comedic friction in the polished world of Beverly Hills. The road west beckons. A battered truck, a determined family, and $25 million in the bank set the stage for one of television's most beloved adventures. The simple cabin in the hills is about to be exchanged for a mansion, but the heart of the Clampetts remains steadfastly mountain-born. In that contrast lies the enduring magic of this classic comedy.